All right, folks, what is going on? This is episode 519 of the First and Frame Rate Show. I am VF Baller, and today you see the title, and it's obvious what I'm about to talk about. Why Coach Ryan Nielsen is an excellent choice for the Falcons defensive coordinator. First and foremost, he was, co-defensive coordinator and defensive line coach for the New Orleans Saints. So I would love to get that information over here to Flowery Branch. So that is basically what it is. So I'm going to give you my thoughts and opinions on that, and we'll just go from there. If this is your first time here, welcome. I can be found on YouTube and Rumble. I'm also on Anchor, Stitcher, Spotify, Apple, and Google Podcasts. So you can get all this information at your leisure if you want to go to Podcast Avenue route, or you can go to the YouTube and Rumble if you want to watch this show, the visual side of things. The show is also brought to you by BetUS. Click that link down in the description. That link will get you information on how to put down money to get 125% bet book bonus. Put down $100, you'll get that bonus, and you can put down on any type of any wage that you would like, from the NFL, the college basketball, to NBA, MMA, esports, anything under that umbrella. All of those things are out and about for you to put wages on. Go out there and double and triple your money. Put that money down. It also helps out the channel. I really, really would appreciate it. I thank you guys for the support. Man, let's just go ahead and get into this, because I don't want to waste no more time with this. Listen, Coach Ryan Nielsen is on the block. I didn't even know he was on the block for coaching jobs. I think the Vikings has already reached out to him. But look, he needs to go no further than from New Orleans to Atlanta. Now, I already told you, I think Brian Babel, I can't remember his name. He is the defensive coordinator. He's the linebackers coach for the Buffalo Bills. I thought that he should have been a really good pick for the Falcons. But when this name came across the wire, that was a wrap. I want this guy to be our defensive coordinator for obvious reasons. First of all, he's from that same group of the Saints that we took their their assistant GM, and he's been making moves for the Falcons, so he has some familiarity with the guy in the front office, Terry Fontenot. Also, all that information that he has on defense for the New Orleans Saints, he can bring that over here, and we can actually, figure out everything that they do, what their tendencies are, and everything that they're about, as far as, what player does what player does this. We have much more insight, so I think it's a no-brainer. Do I think he's better than the guy at Buffalo, Babel from Buffalo? No, I don't think so, but his information is too valuable not to sit back and say, we don't take this guy, if he's willing to take the offer. I think this will be a phenomenal pickup, and it will be very detrimental to the Saints, because the Saints had a pretty decent defense for the past, 4 or 5 years. He wasn't defensive coordinator, but he's basically been there since 2017. He was the defensive line coach. He was the assistant head coach in the he was the assistant head coach, also co-defensive coordinator in 2022. So for 5 years, he was there for the Saints, pretty much built most of the guys that are there. I think he was around for the Davenport trade. The Davenport trade to get him, Marshawn Lattimore, the PJ, I think it was a PJ Williams or something like that, whoever it is. I don't care about those players for the most part, but all those guys that they put in there collectively, he had a hand in it in some form or fashion, whether it be the Mario Davises of the world, or Quan Alexanders. Those guys were a part of what the Saints have done. Bring that information over to Flowery Branch. We can use this information, and it will be much more of a benefit to us, and it's just detriment to the Saints. Now look, the Saints have been pretty much in a free fall ever since Drew Brees has left the team, and since he retired. They were a little bit up and down for a slight moment, but for the most part, they haven't been the Saints of old. We've been going through the rebuilding process, and they're going through it right now. And it looks like, for that team in general, it looks like it's just not it for them. And for them to lose somebody like this, it would be somewhat detrimental to them, because he does play a role, but he's not the guy. But he knows enough. He knows enough for us to go ahead and possibly bring him in, and he will be helpful for us, not only just from the Saints' intelligence standpoint, but I think he's a pretty decent defensive coordinator. You bring him in, He brings that type of mentality that the Saints have been bringing. For the most part, the Saints been playing fairly decent defense, and the guys that they got over there, we can somewhat mimic what they have been doing. Now, our defense haven't been the best. Dean Pease has done a phenomenal job at what he's been able to do, but bringing this guy on with the salary cap space that we have and all the moves that we can make, and even with some of the talent that we already have on the team, I don't see why this will be this would be an I don't see where it goes wrong. This will be an excellent pickup. Now, like I said before, my pick is the linebackers coach from Buffalo, but I'm definitely on board with this. I don't see a downside to this at all. And we're taking to our rivals once again. We took their co-GM or the assistant GM who they thought that was going to be that thought that was going to be in waiting once Loomis left or Loomis retired or whatever the case may be. But no, he went over there and started with the Falcons, and we're doing a pretty good job with what he's doing. Let's get those same results with this defensive coordinator. Hopefully he will sign with us. I'm not sure. Like I said, I was looking on the wires or whatever the case may be. It looks like the Vikings are trying to go after him as well. They tried to interview for him or whatever the case may be, but he was just with Atlanta after he went to the Vikings for an interview. So that bodes pretty well. We have a good chance. I hope we made a pretty good impression on him, and hopefully he walks away with the job. I know we already been looking at Brian Flores. We've been looking at Vic Fangino. Fangino, I think I said that right. I'm not good with names. But I think we have looked at a wide range of people. I think we've done a pretty good job with searching. But I think this one right here is the one. You take that intelligence. Hopefully he comes over and we get that intelligence from what the Saints can do. And no brainer. I think we'll be able to get 2 wins from the Saints from this because there's not much they can change on their defense as far as personnel. Scheme, yes, but personnel, he knows what, a Cam Jordan does. He knows what a Demario Davis does. He knows what a Marshawn Lattimore does. You know what I'm saying? He knows what these guys are capable of doing. And we could use that to our advantage. So I'm 100% on board with this. Finally, I will talk about the Falcons before I get out of here because I don't think there's going to be too much more to say on this episode. You see what Coach Arthur Smith and Terry Fontenot are doing. I don't see where there's any instance where you can look at a negative of what these guys have been doing for the past 2.5, 3 years. I think they've done a phenomenal job of putting players together, putting this team together, and finally getting a makeup of what they want. You're going to see within the next couple of years, well, I ain't going to say years, you're going to see within the next couple of months what this team is really made of. Because now they have all their arsenal at their disposal. They have the draft picks. They have the salary cap. They damn near got all the players that they want on the team. And they have the opportunity to add more of those players that they want. So you're going to see what they're doing, and I think this is going to be a beginning of a huge transition, not only just for the Falcons, not only just for the NFC South, but for the NFC in general. We have the makings to really take over. And I really said this, even though the Eagles are out there, we have the potential to take over. Now, I know that's a really crazy statement to say. I know it is, but no, I'm dead serious. The makeup that we're having right now with this team, what is going on, the young talent that we have, the potential to bring in veterans or big time free agents. And on top of that, you get guys who come in here who know how to win. Don't make no mistake. Make no mistake. Even though that Ryan Nielsen has been on, other places outside of the Saints, he's been around enough to know talent and see talent, and he can help this team collectively win football games. Arthur Smith, Terry Fontenot, those guys have been around, didn't know enough of a pedigree to have a winning formula. You just need the right people in place. So this right here takes a knock out of the sales of whatever Saints can do against us going forward, because we have one of their guys coming in to get a promotion and actually have that information to take on the Saints. And we also have a situation with the Falcons who are just up and coming. So this is an excellent look for the next few months, possibly the next couple of years, and see what happens with this team. Because I don't know what the future is going to hold for the next 2-3 years. Coach Arthur Smith might not even be the coach for us anymore. But it all depends on what happens basically this year coming up. And if everything is successful, I will see not only him, but the collective people on this staff is going to be sticking around for a long time. For a long time. We'll just see how all that goes. If you like this commentary, hit the like button, share this podcast, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Let me know what you guys think. Do you think Ryan Nielsen is an excellent choice for the Falcons defensive coordinator? I think so. I think it's phenomenal. Even though I'm still on the bandwagon of the Buffalo Bills linebackers coach. I think he's the guy. But this one is too hard not to pass up. You gotta hoping we get this guy in here. That will be excellent. I'm going to get up out of here. I could be found on YouTube and Rumble. I'm also Anchor, Stitcher, Spotify, Apple, and Google Podcasts. You guys enjoy the rest of your Wednesday. Click that link down in the description if you want to put some wages down on BetUS. Also, other ways to support the channel. You can do that in those ways as well. Click those links. I really would appreciate it. I will see you guys on the next one. Thank you guys. You guys take it easy, and you guys be blessed. My son is saying bye. All right. Well, so everybody, there you go. If you're watching on the podcast, it's my son. He just turned 4. He is awesome. You want to tell him bye again?
Bye-bye.
Bye. Y'all take it easy. Be blessed.
Bye.
Peace.